Hey guys, I just wanted to come on here real quick. Just kind of heading out here, but I had something this morning that I think is gonna really be helpful to so many people out there. So I had a client this morning, and she was really having a lot of struggles with obsessive thoughts. And I used to have that too. And it made things so hard for me because, we're trying to think better thoughts, right? We're trying to live in the end where everything is fine, everything's fine, everything's wonderful. But we got obsessive thoughts rolling around in our head. That becomes pretty difficult to do because obsessive thoughts are tape loops in the subconscious mind. And we can get to the conscious mind, but most of the time we're not getting to the subconscious mind. So that's where that tape loop is coming from, and that's what we have to erase. That's what we basically have to rewrite, right? So this is how you can do it. But if it's happening to you, you're going to know it because it's going to be showing up as regret, remorse, guilt. If you keep having these stories, where those feelings are, those emotions are attached to some story, and that just keeps going and going and going, you know that you have a subconscious tape loop going that you need to rewrite. So I'm going to tell you how to do that. But first I want to tell you her story because she wanted me to share it, because she knew that it would help other people. So what did we do? Well, we actually went in with her because she's in my area. We went in with hypnosis. And, I can do it online, but I'm doing enough stuff right now. But with her, I went ahead and I did the hypnosis for her so we could get to the subconscious. But hypnosis is really, sure, it's great to be able to do it with somebody and they're walking you through it. But can you do it? You do it all the time without even knowing it. Every day when you go to sleep and when you wake up, you're going through that hypnotic state. What is it? It's just a relaxed, meditative state. You're in hypnosis then. When you're watching TV, you're in hypnosis, which commercials know all too well. While you're suddenly like, why do I want Pringles or Cheetos or, a hamburger or what? The commercials we're watching. Why does songs suddenly why am I thinking of that song? Why can't I get it out of my head? And then you realize, oh yeah, I heard it in the elevator when I was in that building, earlier today. And they drop in so easy, right? So with her, this is what we did. I just put her into a relaxed state. She just got relaxed. And then I was like, okay, you're going to go out. You're going to imagine yourself going out into space, past out past the earth, past the moon, past the stars, past the planets, way out. You're going to see galaxies and everything. And then at some point coming up really soon here, I'm telling her, you're going to see something that really stands out to you. Maybe a planet, maybe a star, maybe something else completely different, but something's going to show up and you're going to know it when you see it. And then right away she was like, oh God, yeah, I see it. And I'm like, what is it? She's like, it's this planet. And it's black. I'm like, well, let's go take a look, let's go find out what that is. Because I already knew what it was. But so we went and she ended up landing on this planet. And she felt like she was really small. And it was just black everywhere. And she was in this valley. And there was this cliff that towered hundreds and hundreds of feet, above her. And at the top of that cliff was a castle. And she was like, I don't know who's in there, but they're making me really nervous. I feel really, really uncomfortable, that in this place, I don't feel safe. And I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to do. You are going to begin to grow. And you are going to grow and grow and grow. And you're going to grow so fast that before you even know it, you're going to be so much bigger. You are going to be towering over the cliff and the castle. And they're going to be tiny little things to you. So when she got to that point, I'm like, so how do you feel now? And she's like, I feel a lot better. you know? So I'm like, well, what do you think's in that castle? What is so scary and unsafe feeling about that? She's like, there's somebody in there. I'm like, well, they're just this tiny little thing now, aren't they? I'm like, I want you to pick up that castle and I want you to shake it and tell me what falls out of it. Her stepfather fell out of it because he was the one that she was scared of in her life. The one that was constantly, you gotta go, you gotta go. It's about survival of the fittest. You know, you gotta like work, go. Otherwise you might die, you know, kind of thing. So it was always kind of freaking her out in her life. But now he was this tiny little man. And I'm like, what's he doing? And she's like, he's running around on the ground and he's screaming and yelling. I'm like, well, what's he screaming and yelling at? She's like, he's scared. I'm like, what's he scared of? And then she suddenly went from there to a completely different scene where she saw him as a little boy in his bedroom and he was curled up in a corner crying. And I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, she's scared. He's scared. He's scared of his dad. He's scared of his dad because his dad is this really loud, scary man. And so he grew up trying to warn her about all the scary people and the scary situations out there that was his way of trying to protect her. But she just saw him as this big, scary man when he felt he was warning her. And then his story became her story. And she realized then that not only was that not her story and has never been her story, but that he was just a little boy scared of the dark. And so she gave him a hug and she felt sorry for him. She felt compassion for him. Suddenly she understood why he was like he was. And when she did, she was able to let it go and completely forgive him. And no longer in her life did she see all the men in her relationships, all her landlords, all her roommates become the scary person in her life who was doing something to her, who had negative energy and was affecting her, because she realized none of that was true. So we got rid of that subconscious program for her. Now, of course, you got hypnosis. You've got meditation. You just go in a meditative state, which just means you're relaxed. You're just relaxed. You go in, you relax, and you see what happens. Or you tell a story, you rewrite a story on purpose, or you can go in and just kind of see what happens and rewrite whatever comes up for that story. But you can also do EFT, emotional freedom tapping. You can do faster EFT where you're just tapping. And what it's doing is when you're tapping, it gets into the subconscious mind because you're doing a pattern. You're saying this thing, you're doing this tapping, and it creates this gateway that just opens it up into the subconscious mind. So that's another way to rewrite whatever it is you got going on. Rewrite the regret, the remorse, the guilt. Get rid of them. Rewrite that story. It's not just about Neville Goddard rewriting his past. We are rewriting our story in this reality. All those places where you may be getting stuck. If it is finances, if it is your love life, if it is work, if you decide you want to work, if you are working, anything you want to rewrite. What's not only in the past, what's going on, what's affecting you now. Let's get rid of it. Those things that we feel like those obsessive thoughts that we can't get rid of, that's how you get rid of them. So you rewrite your life in the way you want it, without all the obsessive thoughts, without all the remorse, without all the guilt, without the regret, because there's not going to be anything to regret anymore or feel remorseful or guilty about, because you got no past. So let's put a better story there. It's going to benefit you more. So I hope that's helped you guys. Thank you for being with me here again on Rebuild Reality. I'm going to see you guys here next time. I look forward to it.